Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories. I surprised my cheating ex by asking her for a divorce on our wedding anniversary. I was inspired tonight to share this story, which I hope is at least interesting. It never fails to bring a smile to my face. After finding evidence, my then wife was probably having an affair I was investigating. Honestly, I was also looking for innocent explanations. My boss always said look for the innocents when we would investigate suspicious behavior. 2 days after I determined she'd been at a hotel instead of work, I looked at her phone. She was definitely having an affair, but the text conversation was to an unsaved number, so I couldn't be sure of her APS identity. I had a guess that it was one person she worked with. I made the mistake of looking at his LinkedIn page while logged into my own. Some people have premium LinkedIn accounts that let them see who has viewed their profile. This was one such person. He noticed, he got worried. He mentioned it to my then wife. She always fancied herself smarter than she was, so she decided to just confront me about it. But couch it as, hey, AP was wondering why you looked at his LinkedIn page. She was fishing, possibly trying to read my expression, as well as gauge my answer. As a rule, I don't lie. I never see the need. Lying is about fear. People lie because they're afraid of something. In this case, I was afraid she realized I was onto her before I was ready to confront her. So I lied. Her AP was Mexican. I struck upon a fantastic story in a flash of brilliance. Oh, yeah. I never understood Mexican last names. They're not hyphenated, but sometimes there are two. But is one a middle name legally, or are they both officially last names? I know you said his last name is Sanchez, Rubio, but his LinkedIn is just Rubio. Honestly, it was a masterful performance. Still, she insisted that I asked my question while she recorded a video on her phone to send to him. Assumed she wanted him to see how sincere I was. I don't lie often, but I'm a fantastic liar. The best part of all this is that they both totally bought it completely. Later that evening, I looked at the text conversation between her and her AP, who I still hadn't positively identified. His number was unsaved in the phone. And though that LinkedIn conversation was wildly suspicious, it wasn't definitive, except that he was so convinced of the sincerity of my question of Mexican culture. He took a picture of his driver's license and sent it to her in their text conversation. He basically signed his name. It made me think of an old Dave Chappelle joke that he only believes someone was guilty if he'd held up a copy of his driver's license. Well, her AP did, which was thanks to my breathtaking spur-of-the-moment lie and video performance. Though they were worried at first, they realized they were both much too clever for me. Yes, I changed the names to protect the guilty. Edit. Some folks are asking for an ending. So here's a quick version. I'm terribly long-winded. Sorry. These events took place 6 days before I went to visit a lawyer. It was the first appointment I could get. It also happened to be our 5th wedding anniversary. My plan was to ask for a divorce the next week because no one would ask for a divorce on a wedding anniversary. Right? Well, the visit to the lawyer really hit me hard. My lawyer told me that no one wins. She was right. I went home from work early. It freaked out my then wife because she thought I was going to surprise her at work for our anniversary or something. Spoiler, she wasn't at work. She was at a hotel. She still doesn't know. I know that. But my behavior made her very curious. So I had to tell her I suspect your cheating lawyer told me not to reveal the proof. She pointed out correctly that she'd been lying all this time, so she's not going to stop. Yeah, I asked for a divorce on our 5th wedding anniversary. Finalized 4 months later. Finally got out of the shared house 3 months after that. We share 5,050 custody of our now 5-year-old daughter. My ex-wife still has yet to admit anything, but I don't need her to. I have lots of proof. The happy ending is that I am much happier being away from her. I feel freer to move and breathe. She used to complain about even my breathing. I can do crazy things for my daughter like paint an entire wall in rainbow colors or build her a castle. See my previous posts. I will be posting later on my zany Halloween decorations. Freedom. Side note, I later discovered that her APS phone number wasn't unsaved. She just wanted it to appear that way. When she saved his phone number in her phone, she hadn't used a name, but it saved it as another different phone number. It was reasonably clever, but she neglected to save it as the phone would have displayed it. In the US, you can write out 10-digit phone numbers as 1,234,567,890 or 1,234,567,890. For phone would have displayed a truly unsaved number with parentheses. She used dashes. Admittedly, I didn't notice immediately. However, the whole game falls apart when you have long text conversations with an unsaved number. That's just weird. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. You're a great father, and I'm glad you've learned to coexist with an ex who was that narcissistic for your child's sake. Original poster's reply. Thank you. I really try. I so badly wanted to fight for more custody, but I wouldn't have gotten 100%, which takes a lot. I ultimately chose to compromise so I could coexist with her for the sake of our daughter. I also thought my daughter would want time with her mother, even if I selfishly wanted her all to myself. I worry for my daughter, though, that she'll be hurt when she discovers her mother's narcissistic tendencies. I wish I could spare her that. Comment 2. I'm curious why she would think it isn't suspicious. To record your response for him. WTATH original poster's reply. She really thought she was slick. The arrogant never think anyone can see through their lies. Her lies made me laugh, though, and how transparent they were. She called me to tell me she on her way home. So I'd ask where she was honestly trying to time it for dinner, etc. She'd tell me I'm just passing Target. Yeah, the Target isn't on her route home. So either she's lying about where she is or where she was. That lie was ridiculous, because I knew where Target was, and she clearly didn't. Comment 3. Did you tell the wife original poster's reply? I wanted to. My lawyer talked me out of it. She said she might already know. She might not want to know. The AP and his wife were both born in Mexico. He just gotten his green card after 10 years legally in the US. His wife didn't have hers. She was only part-time employed. He makes a lot of money. Their kids by being born here are US citizens. If I'd blown up their marriage, she could have ended up divorced and stuck in Mexico away from her kids. I wish I could know what she wants or what's best for her, but I can't know. Story 2. My husband has been cheating on me for 2 years online. I don't know what to do. My 25, husband 30, has been sexting online with different people, daily for the past 2 years. He has exchanged photos, videos, audio clips, and thousands upon thousands of sexts through things like Discord and Steam. Most of the people he did this with were people he met through gaming. In the last year, he got a VR headset and has been playing on a game called VR Chat, where he also does sexual things with people in a much more intimate setting. I discovered this by going through a Discord chat with his friend. I've never snooped before, but something told me to do it. I have since learned he deleted all his sexting chats from Discord, so the message I saw was one he forgot to delete. Maybe it was the universe trying to tell me, because my husband certainly had no intention of coming clean. A year ago in Jan 2021, I caught him having virtual sex and erping with someone and told him to stop. I was actually going to divorce him because I had always been clear I don't tolerate any cheating. I ended up finding out I was pregnant not long after, and he swore he would stop because he wanted to dedicate himself to our growing family. I decided to give him another chance. Well, he didn't stop for long, because I know now he went back to it after a few weeks. He has these sexting relationships with mostly random people, but there are a few that he keeps going back to, I have learned. These are the ones that hurt the most. He says he has an addiction to porn, and he seeks approval through sexual encounters, something he apparently worked out in therapy. He's been in therapy for years to help with anxiety, and that he couldn't stop himself even though it was wrong and he knew it. He said he never met anyone in person, nor would he have. All online, and usually it was anonymous. He wouldn't tell them his real name or show his face. Over the last 2 years he has been cheating. I've noticed a change. He only ever wanted to come home and play video games, never wanted to spend time together or do things together. I tried to fix things and address them, but he always said it was because of COVID and it will pass. He is a medical worker, so he was stressed a lot, and I'm immune compromised and have lung problems that meant I had to leave my work. I actually had surgery end of 2020 because of these problems, but he continued to cheat, and I was definitely trapped inside all the time. This often meant I was needy for some companionship from being alone in the house all day. By time he came home exhausted, causing a lot of disconnect. He was never too tired to play video games, though, which was a constant fight. Through everything he was cheating, not giving me the support I needed. When I found out in 2021 I was pregnant, he went back to who he used to be, which is why I thought forgiving him the first time had been the right call. Obviously, he eventually started cheating again. He wants to stay together and fix things, swearing he will do everything in his power to get the help he needs. Our daughter is 2 months old, and a large part of me wants to try and work things out so she can have the upbringing I didn't, but I don't know if I could ever trust him again. In the last 2 years, every time he was on his phone or computer or at work, he was cheating or watching porn. Around the clock. I just don't know how to get past that, how to not always be paranoid he's doing it again. Hate him but love him. We have built a life together. My life for the last 2 years has been put on hold. No job, no money of my own. I left school due to my health, so no degree yet. And I have a daughter who I love, but couldn't imagine raising all alone. I don't even know if having those things would make me leave him otherwise. I feel trapped because he says he has an addiction and I'd be leaving without helping him, but it's been 2 years. I caught him a year ago and he still didn't stop. If his addiction is real, but my pain is. I'm just not sure what to do with it.